Hey friends, thanks for hanging out with me, I guess. Today we're gonna go to ReplayFX. I don't know if I'm gonna continue to do stuff like this, but we're going to an event and I can walk to it, so let's do walkity vloggity and maybe have some fun. Alright, guys. I wanted to show you something before I left, real quick, Likels. Okay, so this is what I want to show you. Since it was raining earlier, you know, it's really important to have visibility and darkness, which when I come back, you know, it's 8 o'clock, so yeah, it's gonna be dark. I got this thing. This thing's pretty cool. I actually strapped it around to my messenger bag. It works pretty well. Now you can wear it as a belt, you can wear it as a vest, what have you, whatever. But this is an LED strip, and they come in a bunch of different sizes. You can get LED bracelets and stuff, but this is actually, hold on, let's go into the darkness, guys. Hold on. Boom! Look at that, dude. Bam! This increases your visibility, makes it safer. So in the rain and the darkness, you know, you don't get hit by cars and stuff. Okay, so for those of you who don't know what ReplayFX is, it's an event in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, United States, and apparently it's a giant convention that's really kind of focused on the nostalgic gaming scene, the gaming community. Now there is some newer games, some local developers showing off new games and new, you know, hardware, stuff like that, but it's really focused on like pinball, old arcade games, like really reliving the 80s. And it's pretty cool, bringing the new to the old to the new, old people coming and bringing their children, the new babies and stuff, trying out the old games. It's a bunch of fun, it really is. Cosplay, all that stuff, music bands. It's a good event that seems to be growing and getting bigger every year. So this is my experience this year. Now to start out my morning, I got there and I actually ran into Matt3756. He's an arcade YouTuber. He loves freaking claw machines, so of course he's got a claw machine at his booth. Sure, he was promoting his YouTube channel, but it was just really cool for me personally to meet another YouTuber for once in my life, finally. But another YouTuber in real life, and he actually turned out to be one of my most favorite and most consistently watched YouTubers, and he was also really cool. So shout out to Matt, and it was really cool meeting you. And now, the next objective, the main objective of coming to ReplayFX is to go and play some frickin' arcade games. I was actually surprised by how many pinball machines were around, and honestly, I didn't really understand pinball, but I feel like I've been just a little bit educated in the awesomeness of the art that is pinball, playing it, and also the machines themselves. But yeah, there's also tons of crazy arcade games, and I say crazy because there's like some weird Korean games that I've never knew about, and there's just a lot of games that I just never have experienced, or I was unaware of the epicosity that was the arcades in the 80s. Now, I played a couple of arcade games. I normally stayed with like simulator games or the ones that are really big and loud like Mortal Kombat, but there were some that are a little bit low-key, but when you get into the booth or when you get right onto it, when you get into that arcade machine, man, it's intense. Man, is it fun. Like Tron, dude. Wow. I mean, I know Tron has movies. I know Tron. I know of it, but I didn't know that the game was actually so good and so hard. Man, a lot of these games, I mean, it makes sense. You know, you pay per quarter, you pay per life. Of course, they're going to be hard. Freaking wow, though. Just wow. But the thing is that when you get into these arcade games and you're playing them, like normally if you were to play these games now, like in an emulator at home with a controller, that's not the full experience. When you get to these cabinets, when you play with these giant joysticks and these weird control schemes, sometimes like tracking balls or like these weird like little balls things and these like scroll wheels, and they just have all sorts of weird knobs and doohickeys and thingamajigs. It's a lot of fun. It's the full experience, the meta experience of people around you joining in to, you know, to fight you or co-op with you, or just the experience, the tactile feeling of actually playing with these arcade cabinets. It's a lot of fun, and if you haven't done it, which is likely because arcades aren't exactly prevalent anymore, you should try to go to one of these events. Now, ReplayFX is about the games, but there's also music incorporated with that. They're not just playing random music, guys. It's either video game covers or using video game sound effects or in the style of video game, you know, soundtracks. I will play two bands that were the most impactful for me. Bit Brigade, who plays live game covers as it's being played, and Triforce Quartet, which classically cover video game music. apparently this like the world championships for pinball here. I'm not sure if that's actually a fact. It's stated, but apparently, you know, ReplayFX has a pretty big pinball tournament. I knew it was big. I'm not really big into pinball myself, so I couldn't really watch and film it, but it seemed pretty freaking serious. Now, there were also some other tournaments. There's a Donkey Kong tournament going on. There was a couple other arcade game tournaments. I also got to play in a Needhog tournament. So there was a couple of pockets of serious action going on here. So it's not just fun and games if you want to come here, especially if you're into pinball. You might have a lot of very serious competitive fun here at ReplayFX as well. Oh yeah, they also have this area called the Console Lounge where you can go and play some console games. They had really weird games. They have the usual flagship games like PlayStation 1. It's going to have Crash Bandicoot. Sega's going to have Sonic games, stuff like that. But attached to that, there's also this area where you can play PC games, you know, like Unreal, Quake. You also had like Street Fighters, and that's where the fighting tournaments was happening. But also right across from that was this area where local developers were actually hanging out and showing off their games. And there's one game, and yes, this is going to get its own individual video and first impression. It's called All Things Go Boom. It looked really fun. It's a party game. It's going to have local and online multiplayer. It's tanks, and everything just kind of explodes and erupts, and it's just a lot of fun. It's a party game, man. Chaotic. Just playing there and hanging out with the developers and also the people that would randomly come up and play the game with us. It was a lot of fun, and I can't wait to actually get my own video on that later on. But yeah, the console lounge and the area connected to that, it wasn't just arcade games, not just pinball games, but also this weird mix of just all sorts of different kinds of games from all sorts of different kinds of time periods. It was really interesting and fun. Okay, so we just got out of ReplayFX, and yeah, we're going home now. Home is over that way. And remember, guys, be safe. Got that, you know how cool I looked with in the arcade with this on? Looked pretty freaking cool, man. All right, guys, see you when I get home. That's right, guys. It's been a long day. I'm pretty much full on adventure. I did a lot, played a lot of games, even pinball. I mean, I'm not very comfortable with pinball, but I feel came out with a new appreciation for the art. And like, it goes for everything. I feel like I've been educated. I feel like I just had pure fun. I was like a child again for like about 8 hours. I met a lot of really interesting people, saw a lot of very interesting characters, and overall, I'm very satisfied. I'm sure next year is going to be even better with a more full schedule, which would be great. So if you're thinking of going, I have to say, yeah, give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, guys. This was my impressions, my time at ReplayFX. Hope you have a good one, and hopefully I'll see you again tomorrow.